As we move into storm season, here's something most homeowners don't realize after a storm. Roof damage isn't always obvious. Wind can lift shingles, breaking the seal. Hail can bruise them below, and flashing around chimneys and pipes can loosen without you ever knowing. That damage may not show up for months. If your area has strong wind or hail, a professional inspection will help bring you clarity before small damage turns into bigger problems.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Well, it's not storms in the forecast for today, but it is cold weather and going to be impactful cold at that. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor here from Mississippi Live Weather at 5. We're tracking those frigid conditions, but we're actually starting our broadcast today in Pontotoc County with our chief meteorologist, Matt Laubon. He is out there right now tracking the cold weather. Matt, I heard you mentioning gloves earlier on. That's just one of the many layers that we need going about these afternoon plans.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, for tonight, we're going to have temperatures back down into the low 20s. So we have some really chilly air on the way again for tonight. This is as cold as things are going to get later on tonight. We do expect that we're going to be much more reasonably mild for the latter part of this week as temperatures get closer to what we typically expect for this time of year. But today was certainly a cold day. You can see behind me the Pontotoc Agri Center. And as we use our Mississippi Live drone high above the Pontotoc area, a couple of things that we're looking at here at this point. First off, a lot of locations around the region have had some fires out there from time to time over the course of the last 24 hours or so, and even a few of those still being reported by North Mississippi storm chasers at this point on some of their cameras that they're looking at. Looking over top of Pontotoc, that's not something I really see much, really, as we kind of pan things back here toward the west and even northwest. So not a lot of smoke plumes out there. Does look like may have one looking kind of in a northerly direction there, but not a great shot of that. But you can still see kind of that grayish sort of hue toward the horizon there. So we need to be considering the fact that it is dry weather and breezy conditions, which is what we have out there today. There is elevated fire danger. So I know there's a tendency. We want to get rid of some of this debris that happened with the recent ice storm. I just think that is something that we have to be wise about how we choose to do that and when we choose to do that. And today, on breezy days, that's probably not the best opportunity for that, so keep that in mind. So the other reason I'm here in Pontotoc, I'm at the Agri Center intentionally here because tonight they're going to be honoring the linemen and first responders that worked so hard during the recent ice storm to get the power back on. And so the community coming together here to honor those folks, I believe about 100 different dishes from restaurants, up to 10 restaurants here in the Pontotoc area coming out to kind of help them out and to honor them. So we're here trying to keep the focus on the fact there were some folks that worked tirelessly for the better part of a month to get things back to normal. But it is definitely bone-chilling cold once again, something that luckily the last couple of weeks we haven't had much of. But better temps, warmer temperatures on the way. Better, depending on your perspective on things here, but certainly warming things closer to normal for this time of the year. And rain and storms are going to return by midweek, including maybe just a limited chance for a couple of stronger thunderstorms, a possibility. That's not an issue tonight. We are clear, and with the clear skies, those temperatures continue to drop through the 20s, mid-20s by midnight, down low 20s by the first part of early morning on your Tuesday. Again, on our north and northwest winds getting a little calmer. And you can see here looking at those low temperatures toward tomorrow morning and over the course of the next couple of days down to the really, really chilly category there. Gabe, just so you know, just in case, I hope we didn't enable all these graphics in there because we're going to double up on, I think, a couple of things there if that's the case. But you definitely can see that we are definitely going to warm things up a bit more as we head toward the middle part of this week. But temperatures right now coming in the upper 30s to low 40s out there, coming about 41 degrees in Houston. We're 43 in Starkville and in the Columbus area. This is fairly on par with where we were yesterday, a couple degrees cooler. Looking at that 24-hour temperature change there versus where we were at yesterday. And wind chill factor, maybe the more important one, it's 32 in Tupelo, coming in around 31 to 30 degrees here in Pontotoc and New Albany, about 30, but down in the low 20s up there near the Tennessee state line. So that wind is the factor that keeps it cold. Hopefully calming down a little bit more by early tomorrow. On the wide shot here, we're kind of smashed between this really, really strong system in the northeast United States. We'll call it nor'easter out that direction there, and that is continued to kind of slip out there toward the Atlantic and take all of its snowfall with it. Still wrapping behind, should say there, a little bit of snowfall throughout the eastern portions of the United States. As we continue to kind of look here around the western part of the country there, yeah, it just skip past all those angle points there on view apparently. But anyway, Gabe, you're going to have to kind of bring that back here closer to the central U.S. and zoom that in if you could. The clear skies here are going to be the story for tonight, keeping us dry and obviously cold as high pressure settles in. Hopefully that calms down the winds a bit more over the course of the next couple of hours here, making sure that our temperatures drop back into the 20s before midnight and are below freezing to a large extent. Again, probably low 20s, if not some teens out there for early tomorrow morning. We'll look city by city at some of those low temperatures here in just a couple of moments. So 21 degrees again, low tomorrow morning. We're 48 by noon and 55 tomorrow afternoon. That's warmer tomorrow afternoon than we got for this afternoon. So obviously an improvement versus where we are for today. Our winds start shifting around to the south, and that'll start the process of bringing more moisture in place. That moisture and how much we have in place is the key to our thunderstorm chances by the middle part of the week. And we do expect we'll eventually have some thunderstorm chances. None of those around, though, over the course of the next 24. Now, we're looking at those thunderstorm chances where they're the most likely and breaking down your forecast for how cold temperatures will be again for tomorrow morning here on Mississippi Live Weather at 5 p.m. in the Room to Room Weather Center. That's coming up with our meteorologist, Gabe Maynor, here in 60 seconds.
The 9th Annual World of Customs Indoor Car Show, Friday through Sunday, February 27th through March 1st in Tupelo Furniture Market, Building 5. Custom cars, trucks, and bikes from across the nation. With adult admission, you'll get a ticket for a chance to win a Yukon Toolbox to be given away Sunday. Donated by Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, a free garage floor from Bo's Best Epoxy Flooring. The World of Customs Car Show, February 27th through March 1st in Tupelo Furniture Market, Building 5. Partially funded by Visit Mississippi and Tupelo Visitors Bureau.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
43 degrees and clear in Mabin right now. Big thank you to the folks there in Oktibbeha County for tuning in tonight. But as Matt was mentioning, those winds still about 8 miles an hour out of the northwest. That's driving in that colder air and unfortunately making it feel that much colder with wind chills up around the upper 30s. And as you saw in Tupelo in the around freezing and up there in the northeast part of Mississippi, sitting below freezing. So that's the story tonight. That frigid air is still a part of the forecast and that dry air as well, posing a threat with some of that fire danger. If you are burning, make sure to, of course, you can wait, go ahead and wait, but it is just going to be a dry forecast and a breezy forecast, which are two ingredients that are not actually shaping up for any success whenever we're talking about burning. 47 degrees in Macon, 42 feels like value, still with that northerly wind at about 11 miles an hour. So it is going to be a breezy forecast for sure. That's what's allowing that dry air to settle in. As Matt is in Pontotoc, 37 degrees in Pontotoc right now. So if you are heading out to any of those afternoon or evening plans, layer up. It's going to be a cold one for sure. These winds not doing anyone any favor. Sustained speeds of around 10 to 12 miles an hour. But when we show these gusts, I mean, this is honestly the most tame they've been. I've seen some in excess of 20 miles an hour across North Mississippi. So that's not an impossibility tonight, especially with that colder air moving in during those overnight hours. Taking a look at our Mama Justice Doppler radar, no sign of any rainfall, as has been that dry forecast overhead for the last 48 hours. Satellite imagery shows even the cloud cover escaping North Mississippi, moving up there towards the northeast with that nor'easter, so not exactly a threat for us. We're not tracking anything in the sky, clouds or rainfall, at least not yet. And that yet comes into play by midweek, and we'll track that in a little bit more detail in just a moment. By 7, we're 34 degrees. By 9, 29 degrees. And then by 11, 25 degrees. You notice these winds getting a bit calmer. Not going to play as much of a part in our forecast by our Tuesday morning, but a little bit of a wind chill can be expected, and we'll see that here in just a moment. Futurecast on your Monday evening stays with those northerly winds and that drier, clear air still over the top of North Mississippi. So any of those evening plans should be good to go. I mean, you're not tracking any rainfall. You just do need to layer up, and even 2, 3, potentially even 4 layers will be needed as we get into those overnight hours. A little bit of cloud cover moving in, but this is some of that thin cloud cover that's going to be way high up in the sky. And even then, so thin, not exactly posing a threat on those clear skies. So should be a beautiful night nonetheless, and carrying over into a beautiful start to our Tuesday. Those low temperatures though, nothing beautiful about this, as we do see teens in the forecast for northwest Alabama, 20 in Houston, Bruce, 22 Amory, 22 Macon, and we're in the mid to upper 20s out there in the Delta, but still a cold forecast nonetheless. And those wind chills, of course, making it feel that much worse with teens up there towards northwest Mississippi. Our meteorologist Maggie McCauley going to be tracking a very frigid forecast while living in that frigid forecast. So make sure to layer up even for those morning commutes on your Tuesday. That school bus forecast, not only do you need to layer up, but also the little ones heading off to the bus stop. Make sure they have those jackets on standby. 21 degrees at pickup. We're 55 towards drop-off. Still going to be clear to start the day, but some of that cloud cover does build in as we work our way into our Tuesday afternoon. And again, that's just cloud cover, and we'll see that right here. This is a sign of that moisture returning to our Tuesday, and that's going to be moving in from the Gulf into North Mississippi due to these southerly winds. A little bit more breezy out in the Delta for the start of the day, but as the day goes on, some of those stronger wind gusts do work their way to the eastern side of the Magnolia State and allow for that moisture return there as well. We can see that cloud cover, partly cloudy skies expected, not exactly going to be, I know this graphic basically shows widespread cloud cover. I do think we get some breaks and do still get some sunshine by the time we get into the afternoon. And where we get more sunshine, that's where we're going to see even warmer temperatures. So our high temperatures will differ by a degree or two on our graphic here in just a moment. But that's going to depend on where those breaks in the cloud cover do set up. So Tuesday evening staying dry, but cloud cover does build and become mostly cloudy for any of those evening plans. High temperatures though, I did mention that it is going to be slightly warmer. We're low to mid 50s north of Highway 6, south of there, upper 50s, and I'm not ruling out the low 60s because I do expect some of that sunshine to break through and warm these 58s there towards Belzona and Greenville up towards around 59 or potentially 60 degrees. But this is warmer than what we had today, and that shows that warming trend that we'll be experiencing into our Tuesday, carrying over into our midweek portion as well. Right in time for our baseball forecast too, 4 p.m. on your Tuesday down in Starkville, Mississippi. The Bulldogs will be taking on Austin Peay. 58 degrees first pitch, but by that final out, low 50s with that nighttime chill, I think that it will be enough to have a light jacket. So just make sure to take that to the game in preparation for it, just knowing that that is expected by that final pitch. That Tuesday in Oxford, also a game happening out there. The Rebels are taking on Southeast Missouri, and they will be, of course, a little bit cooler, upper 40s there by that final out. That first pitch is at 4 p.m., so Bulldogs and Rebels hoping to keep that undefeated season going. I think we should fare well this midweek, but midweek games, you know, anything can happen. Tuesday night stays on the drier side once again, and there's that cloud cover kind of breaking up. This is our strike model, so not as dense on the cloud cover, but I do expect a few of those up in the sky, but again, no rainfall. Tuesday evening and your Wednesday morning staying on the drier side once again. Southerly winds still kicking in that moisture into North Mississippi. And again, setting the scene for that midweek rain chance that we'll track here in just a moment. 45 degrees South Haven, 45 Grenada, 41 Houston, 40 Columbus. Upper 30s still not out of the question for northwest Alabama, but this is as that warmer air moves in and that colder air moves out. It's kind of that west to east progression. That's why it's a little bit colder out there for our neighbors in Alabama. As that Futurecast moves on through your Wednesday, still going to be those dry conditions, but we do expect a few of those pop-up showers to move in, yes, as expected into your Wednesday afternoon. I don't expect it to be this widespread. Similar to that moisture reestablishing itself in North Mississippi, it does take a bit for these rain chances to make its way all the way to the surface. So I think that a little bit of virga can't be ruled out, or potentially some light showers, but not this widespread, at least not immediately. As we work our way into the late afternoon and early evening, I do think these rain chances verify a bit more, and this frontal boundary continuing to move across North Mississippi is going to drive that forecast moving forward and keep these rain chances around into those overnight hours and into our Thursday. Now, as long as this cold front lingers in the forecast, that will carry rain chances into our Thursday. And Thursday, actually expecting a few rumbles of thunder as well. And still some questions in regards to, will we see any strong storms? I don't think we're ruling that out. And coming up at 6 o'clock tonight, we're tracking our triple threat and our storm finder to kind of get a better assessment of what to expect getting into that midweek rain chance and storm chance here here in North Mississippi. High temperatures should be even warmer on Wednesday compared to what we're getting on Tuesday. We're 66 Tupelo, New Albany, 67 Water Valley, 70 down there towards the Golden Triangle, and 72 Kosciuszko, Belzona, even for our folks out there in West Alabama towards Pickens County. So your 7-day forecast shaping up to be much better than where we sit, at least temperature-wise, as temperatures pretty consistently going to be in the mid to upper 60s and low 70s. Low temperatures, a little bit of a roller coaster ride. We're low 20s Tuesday. We're mid-50s by Thursday, then falling back into the upper 30s, and then going back up into the upper 40s by the weekend. So buckle up, I guess is what needs to be said. And then rain chances on Thursday. That's our best chance of rainfall before we dry things out into the weekend, shaping up to be a great forecast for baseball this weekend. I know they're not home games this weekend, but maybe some of our Little League games happening. It should be a great weekend nonetheless to get outside. We'll track that in more detail, but yes, coming up at 6 o'clock tonight, this is what we're looking at in more detail in regards to what to expect with that frontal system, what to expect with storms, what impacts as well. All of that coming up here at the 6 o'clock hour, so we cannot wait to see you guys there. If you have not already done so, go ahead and download that Mississippi Live Weather app. It'll let you know about the frigid conditions tonight, but also let you know about those rain chances ahead. Tracking that specifically for your area, a big convenience when we're talking about getting things scheduled throughout the week. So go ahead and download that today. It also does have our live shows. Our next one, as I mentioned, coming up at 6 o'clock. We also have one at 10 o'clock later on tonight. And our meteorologist, Maggie McCauley, she will be tracking those frigid temperatures in real time at 6:37 and 7:30 on your Tuesday. So make sure to join her. Of course, stay warm, but it should be a great time here on Mississippi Live Weather. We'll see you back here in the next half hour for Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.